Hello and welcome to Mecaniquesportive on YouTube. I'm Nicola, and today I'll introduce the new classic. Everyone calls it the Mini S-Class. We'll see if that's true, but honestly, I have to admit it is. The interior and exterior both resemble it. We'll cover what's new on the 2021 model, which was just released and is now available. I'll discuss the engine options as well as the exterior and interior features, covering everything including the engines. And we're going to do a full test drive on all types of roads, as usual. Let's go. We'll start with the exterior. So, as you can see, we have a car that has become more refined, both in terms of the lights and the lines. Our car now looks even more refined, classier, and more elegant. Especially today, we have these beautiful 19-inch Aufrecht, Melcher, and Großaspach wheels, with this discreet color, so it's a very dark, sparkly gray. Mercedes has always been, for me, the classiest cars. So even though there are other premium manufacturers, for me, Mercedes is still the one that's above the rest. And we'll see inside that, even in terms of technology, it's true that everything related to screens and infotainment is top-notch. The beauty of the car, for me, is still the ultimate. With this car under the hood today, we have the C200 version, so it's a gasoline engine with 204 horsepower. There's also a diesel version available, which has 200 horsepower, each time with a 48-volt mild hybrid system, which gives you a bit more torque. And above all, a much more efficient start-stop system than just a simple start-stop. It will also soon be available with a plug-in hybrid version, just like you find on other models in the lineup. That will be a real advantage, offering nearly 100 kilometers of range due to a large 25.4 kW battery. That's truly the best. As for the transmissions, both versions come with a 9-speed G-tronic gearbox. So, a 9-speed transmission. You don't see that everywhere yet. There are many 7s now, some 8s and 9s. Mercedes has used 9-speed gearboxes on SLs and S-Class models for at least 10 years. It's really great for fuel consumption when you do a lot of highway driving. And it's true that Mercedes cars are often made for going on the highway. As for the engines, for the C200 today. So in the gasoline version, it will be a 1.5-liter turbo engine. And the C200D will have a 2-liter engine. As for the fuel tanks, so you put gasoline over there, you'll have 50 liters in the gasoline version and 40 liters in the diesel version. As for the physical characteristics of the car, we have a car that is 4 meters 75 long, 1 meter 83 wide, and 1 meter 44 high. The 1 meter 44 measurement comes up often on the channel. As for weight, it's about 1,750 kilos. When it comes to choosing the rims, I think we'll have a choice of 7 rims with sporty finishes or more classic versions. We'll offer 12 color choices, most of which are included in the price. And for now, we'll have 3 trims: Avant-Garde, Aufrecht, Melcher, and Großaspach or Business. The turning radius is 11.07 meters, which is excellent for this sedan. There will also be a 4-wheel steering version like the S-Class, reducing the turning radius by 40 centimeters for better maneuverability. And above all, the feeling, if it's like the S-Class, then it will really be impressive. If you haven't seen the video about the S-Class, go watch it on the channel. Just type S-Class Limousine S 400D Mécanique Sportive. You'll see. It was the craziest car I've ever driven. Plus, it was the limousine version. In the back, it was as comfortable as a palace. Massages and a tablet to control the television in front of me. It was wild. We had digital television and everything. It was unbelievable. The S-Class is truly the ultimate, introducing more technology to cars globally than most. For example, Mercedes invented ABS. On the front of this Mercedes, let's start with the hood here. So we have these ridges here. It almost looks like an old C63 Aufrecht, Melcher, and Großaspach. It's so bulged. And you can see the same thing when you're driving from the cockpit. You can clearly see the 2 ridges on the hood, but this subtle line that starts and blends in is barely noticeable. But these two, you really get the feeling of having a V8 here. Then the lines continue here into the windshield pillar, leading to this grille. The large Mercedes logo here contains all the driver assistance sensors, so now it's in there. We have the camera here. I'll show you. It's the best 360 camera there is. You can't get better. If you find something better, tell me in the comments. I want to see. For me, Mercedes is the best. New grille here, filled with little stars, Mercedes all over the place. That reminds me of this star here, but there, filled with little chrome ones. It looks really good. I really like that little detail. The grille here, so not the Panamericana grills like you find on the sporty versions, but this rather simple grille that gives this car a classy look. The license plate with its holder here, air intake there, another air intake here with little flaps that open and close for aerodynamics. That affects the drag coefficient. A slightly redesigned front bumper features a splitter reminiscent of F1 cars similar to Renault's. And these new lights here, the digital light headlights. So the digital light headlights are amazing. There are 1.3 million pixels in there with tiny mirrors. It's pretty impressive, and I'll do a night test for you in this video. We have this part here, this little eyelid, you could say, that highlights the daytime running light and also serves as the turn signal. There's a small spot here that lights up with an LED and displays the Mercedes-Benz logo at night. It's nice. Unlike other premium brands, there's just a simple animation. When you turn on the headlights at night and look at the wall, you'll see all these tiny pixels light up. It's very stylish. The car's height shows it isn't very tall. Watch out for the small mud flaps in front of the wheels. They often scrape. Don't worry about the bumper. It's just the low rubber mud flaps that might touch the ground. On the side, the car's 4.75 meters, so it's still quite long. It really has a style of its own, and it does look a bit like the S-Class, at least in terms of its shape. So what I really like is this blade here. So it gives it an aggressive look, even though we're not even looking at an Aufrecht, Melcher, and Gross Asbach trim. This side skirt stands out then recedes, making the wheels protrude. Also, we have Aufrecht, Melcher, and Gross Asbach rims. Honestly, I think the combo is perfect today. The car's 1.44 meters tall, handles here, fridge with a chrome top, and a chrome strip that goes around and up. Black on the doors, the rear windows are heavily tinted. So that's good for both temperature and privacy. As I said, the fuel cap holds 50 liters for gasoline or 40 for diesel. Rims range from 17 to 19 inches. Today we have 19-inch rims which fill the wheel arches well. However, this might affect comfort a little, but it will also enhance the car's dynamism. We'll see during the test drive that the car is a bit stiff with its 19-inch rims. You can see the car's actually quite low throughout. It's true that it sits really low, so the fact that it's low also affects the drag coefficient and fuel consumption, even though we'll see that the car isn't actually that economical. Ah yes, now I'm coming up to the light. I'm about to come across something I love. I'll show you. The taillight looks great, even better than the S-Class to me. Let me know your thoughts. I'll also show the rear three-quarter view, which is nice. As you can see, it's quite curved, and the side skirt at the bottom curves inward slightly. Very beautiful car. All right, let's go straight to the back. So, seen from here at the rear, the lights here are all red, all LED as well, which are integrated into the trunk. So, look at this design. So we have several sections here. 4 sections there, we have another 4 sections here that light up. Also, the intensity varies at night when you turn them on. I'll show you that in a short nighttime video. And then inside here, it looks like feathers. It's so beautiful. The design is so well done. I love it. It's a shame there's no sequential blinking, but it's really, really beautiful. The detail in these lights is amazing. Well, the trunk, simple, right? The sedan version, the C200 here, so it reminds us of the version we have. Very simple. Here, it's very simple. The license plate, the lights here. The little camera that hides just underneath, which is always hidden so it stays clean all the time. Nice job by Mercedes. Other brands should take note since a dirty rear camera or rain is awful. It's hidden and comes out with a small hatch, which is a real advantage. The rear bumper here is very simple, and we have a nice plastic diffuser which makes it look a bit sportier, and 2 fake exhaust outlets here which just have trim pieces but still look very nice. The trunk, of course, has an automatic tailgate, quite quiet compared to other trunk mechanisms. We have 2 buttons to close it and to lock the vehicle when closing the trunk. And in the trunk, you'll find 490 liters of cargo space. So, 490 liters. There you go. That allows me to get in without any trouble. I have lots of space. The seats that fold down in 40, 20, 40, that's a real advantage for arranging the vehicle depending on how you use it. I have little buttons in the trunk that let me fold the seats down directly from here, electronically. And then you just need to push them a little lower. And under the floor here, I still have quite a bit of space that lets me store, for example, cleaning products or other things. The hybrid version will probably take up this space underneath. So let's start with the back seats. There we go. So I get in easily, I kind of drop into the car a little bit. It's not like I'm climbing in, it's more like I just sit down and here I am in this car. So the door. Beautiful leather finish all over the top. Then here, a bit of hard plastic on the bottom, but leather almost everywhere. Nice finishes and especially lighting everywhere that you can leave on during the day and at night. Here you can customize everything, including the Burmester speakers. And so when I'm in my seat, I have plenty of space. I feel good. As for the lateral support, it doesn't seem that great. But then again, it's not the kind of car for really sporty driving. And here, on the side, we have a whole section that's padded. If you like sleeping on your side, that'll be handy. Even here, it fits me perfectly. I could take a nap here. Wow, this padded side here, I've never had that in other cars. So that's a real bonus. It really wraps around you on the door side. An armrest here with a really handy strap. And here, there's no cup holder getting in your way. The cup holder is over there. As for knee room, as you can see, the front seat is adjusted for me. And actually, it was moved back a bit to give me a little more space. I really have plenty of leg room. As for headroom, if I sit up really straight, I'm going to touch here. We have the double panoramic roof here, so a small roof here and a bigger one in the front. Still separated here, which includes the curtains that let you cover the roof. The roof is also heavily tinted for temperature control. And in the end, I'm comfortable in this seat, the middle seat. The central tunnel is huge. Look, it comes up to here on me, so it's pretty high. We have 2 air vents on the central tunnel with a small storage compartment for coins and a second little compartment here. But since they're not very deep, depending on how the person drives, things might move around a little bit. And when you're in the middle seat, well, the middle seat is actually raised quite a bit. For someone like me who's 6 feet tall, I'm sitting pretty high. It's not exactly ideal. On the other hand, it seems comfortable, even the backrest that doubles as the armrest. I've got room for my legs, for my knees as well, and for my feet. I couldn't center them because they're too high. Otherwise, I'd look like this. At the bottom, it's pretty good. Of course, we have ISOFIX and top tether mounts on both rear seats. There are pockets here, so look, they come back like this so you can open them pretty wide. And they're mounted on springs. What I really like is the headrest. Look at how it moves. Press right here. There you go. That makes me laugh. I really like it. The headrests here are quite firm. In 40, 20, 40, the rear seats. If I take you to the front, that's the best spot. Okay, let me quickly show you how to get in the front. So, there you go. I get in easily. I'll get my door. And here is my driving position. So there's something pretty funny in the car. You enter your height, and it will adjust the steering wheel and the seat for the ideal height. I tried the ideal driving position. Personally, it doesn't suit me at all. This huge screen, inspired by the S-Class, is tilted a little bit toward me. I have this dashboard here with its beautiful, beautiful wood finishes. This steering wheel, wow, really. Let me show you from here. You'll see. Your technologies are above everyone else's, so welcome aboard this S-Class. Just look at this view, how beautiful it is, this whole place, these screens. It's just magnificent. And this steering wheel, wow. I've rarely seen such beautiful car interiors. It really makes me dream. And this steering wheel, look at it. We have everything, this big dashboard and lights. Everything is perfect. So we're going to start as usual on the side, on the left here. The door opening, closing, the handle to open it, to adjust the seats. Few know this. Pressing gently moves the seat forward slowly. Pressing harder makes it go faster. It's the same principle. So here, it's sensitive, same thing. Look, the button doesn't move. It's sensitive. Same thing, you can adjust it. The front, the back, it's headrest here. Up, you raise it. You lower the backrest here. You save the position you like there. The heated seats have 3 settings, and here you heat it. Small Burmester speaker here. You can open the trunk with this little latch here. The lower parts are plastic, but they're pretty good quality. Leather on this whole part of the door and also leather on the top. A fairly large rear view mirror, which gives you good visibility, with the corner curved for better visibility. Blind spot detector on the sides. Here you can already see this gorgeous wraparound dashboard. Look at the finish. It's beautiful. I'm not sure what you prefer. So here it's small, a bit wood-styled. It's very, very nice with these lines. And look at the interior. Of all the places, I find this just sublime. In this screen, when you're in the back, you can see it's slightly tilted toward the driver. Here, it almost feels like it's really flat. Actually, it's a little bit, look, tilted toward me. Beautiful leather steering wheel with a rim that's quite thick. It's padded and comfortable, but the steering wheel is large. I have big hands and still find it big. Imagine someone with small hands. If you're 5'1" and hold this steering wheel in small hands, it may feel a bit strange. On the side, we have touch-sensitive buttons. So when you touch them, you can access, for example here, the menus. So we have a home button here, and then, look, as you can see, I scroll like this. So this isn't the fully loaded version with all the options. There will be versions with a little more than this, but we already have, for example, maintenance here. So when I click, it gives me the information. Next, I have the assistance version, so these are all my driving aids that we'll have in this way. Look, it's really nice. It looks like a video game. Next, I have the navigation version, which will give me the full global positioning system here and that I can also have here. When I click navigation, I have global positioning system everywhere. I can't get lost. And you can also have the head-up display with augmented reality as well, which I don't have today. Next, we have the classic. So the classic this way, we're going to have, so also when we're in classic mode, for example, we have a blue finish here. It's blue here. When I go, for example, into the sport display, look, it's going to change my themes. So it's going to be red here and a little bit of red here. So it really puts us in the mood. And you can change all the colors. I'll show you that at night. And you can have a very clean, simple look. And same here, something very simple that I also really like. So this will allow us to control the left screen. So I'll go back to my classic display, which I really like. At the top right, we have the same thing. Always the same house icon, the little OK button here, and the arrow that lets us go back. So we have this on both sides. On the left, it controls the left screen. On the right, it controls the right screen. I'll make a video dedicated specifically to this. There's already the Mercedes-Benz user experience from the A-Class, which has been released. I'll try to make another one for you specifically about the C-Class. This is for driving assistance features like cruise control. We don't have level 2 driving, but usually a small steering wheel controls these features. Cruise control and limiter are set and adjusted here. On the right, voice command button, favorite button, volume, and pick up or hang up the phone. The volume, what's nice is that we have a mute button right here, so you can turn it up and press here to mute. Steering wheel. You can see 2 sections on each side. Very nice with paddles just behind the plus and minus. Mercedes stands out because the right side only has the gear selector. Down for drive, up for reverse, and park is shown. And on the left, here we have the turn signals. That's the sound of the turn signal you hear here. For flashing the headlights, you pull like this. And for the windshield wipers, you turn the little knob. And for the spray, you press all the way here, or just a single swipe. Or if you press all the way, it will spray water. So we have everything on the left stock. The screen here, as I showed you, a beautiful screen here. The quality is amazing. Honestly, nothing to complain about there. And the dashboard, let me show you again. So air vent here, 3 air vents there, 1 over there. I'll show you what it looks like at night. When you change the temperature, the color of the air vents changes. It's really amazing. The LED lights show up here. You can see it a little bit. The LED strip continues here, wrapping all the way around to here. There's lighting everywhere in the doors. Here as well, I'll show you all of this at night. This screen here is fully touch sensitive and you can also control it from here. So, for example, with this little touch sensitive button, I can do it from here, go through the menus and so on. Otherwise, it's very simple. All the settings are here with navigation, phone, radio, media, connect your phone, Mercedes store apps, comfort. For example, you can choose the lighting from here, color settings, and so on. Go back there, we have little shortcuts each time. Below, for example, comfort. When I go into comfort, I can access the seat kinetics. I can activate or deactivate it from here. Kinetics will occasionally shift the seat slightly to keep you from falling asleep on long trips. The consumption information. So here you need to start the engine. For example, when I start it, it will give me the engine information. For example, how much I'm accelerating, how much I'm braking. The car information, the engine information, the torque, the power. And look, when I accelerate, so look, you see it's really like a video game. It's very, very nice. The power and the consumption. So here we go, the consumption. So what you can see here, for example, over the last 118 kilometers, I have an average of 8.6 liters, which isn't necessarily the most economical. I drove in the city and hit some traffic jams, but on smoother roads at 110 and 90, I expected it to be a bit less. We can also return to this button and access everything. The air conditioning is always shown here, which is great. You adjust it with the touch screen. Not sure if you can see it. When I turn up the heat, the air vents turn red. I'm trying to show you like this. So there you go, red. And when I make it colder, it turns blue. All the climate controls are here. Shortcuts here for drive select or dynamic select. So I can use it this way. So for example, here I'm in efficiency eco, so eco comfort, sport, sport plus, and individual. So the individual mode can be customized. You can set it the way you want. Regarding the drivetrain, steering, electronic stability program, and sound, unfortunately, we don't have adaptive suspension on this version. Personally, what I prefer to leave it on is really the eco mode, which works very, very well for me. Here are the cameras. Ready or not, it's about to get impressive. The camera, look at this. It's really the best 360 camera on the market for me, both in terms of quality and in terms of speed and smoothness. From every point of view, it's the best there is. Rear angle, front angle, rear angle. This point of view then. With the wheels, look, if I turn the wheels, it turns. It's instant. It really moves, the car moves just like it would in real life. And same thing. Then I can really move, go wherever I want. I can zoom out, I can zoom in. It's just like a smartphone, even the front. Honestly, it's very well done. This button is for car settings, including shortcuts to electronic stability program Parktronic, lane keeping, and other options. The hazard lights button. This is the touch button, so to start, you can put your fingerprint here, and it will detect whether it's really you driving or not. Turning off the radio or turning off the screen, for example, I can turn everything off, and it just leaves me with the air conditioning here, since that's still pretty convenient. I turned the sound back on right here. Next, so this trim. So from a distance, you might think it's carbon, but actually, no, not at all. We open here, which gives us a space where you can connect your USB cable to USB-C. Double cup holder with little practical things that open here to hold your cup securely depending on the size. At the back, the wireless charging device. And a small space here. When I close it, it closes automatically. Here, a medium-sized storage space, so you won't be able to put a large bottle or anything like that, but we also have 2 USB-C ports, and it's illuminated at night. The glove box is here on 2 levels with space to store your yellow vest and other items, and your manual at the very top. The door looks like this. And look, it really feels very luxurious. It feels very much like a boat. This headrest is really funny, as I mentioned before. It moves like this, and you adjust its height with the button over there. On top, there's a very nice borderless rear view mirror here, which automatically dims at night. And here, we have lighting all around. So, I don't know if you can see it, it's a bit purple. With the light you turn on here, it's LED. Not too white, a bit warm, which I think makes it feel more luxurious this way. You can also turn on the rear lights from here. The Mercedes Me is for the doors, the Save Our Souls button, and this is for the sunroof, so it's touch sensitive. If I want to open it, it will open the roof. Same thing, it's very delicate, it's very smooth. You can see it's classy, and above all, it doesn't make a lot of noise like some others. The view of the back seats, which have access to their own little sunroof. Well, glass roof. And this part, so it's not panoramic all the way through, which is a shame. But we'd still get good brightness inside the cabin. All that's left is to drive the Class C and see how it feels. Let's go. All right, let's start the test drive of this Class C in the city. So here we go, drive, let's get started. So the speed area here. We saw the screen light up quickly while stopped at a traffic light. When we're first at the light, this helps us see if it's green or red, even if it's far away. The wide-angle camera shows the light's color. It's a nice little gadget. Same for the global positioning system. We've got augmented reality. So sometimes we have the screen here that tells us where to go thanks to the front cameras. We have cameras with really good quality. Same, you'll see when I do a little parking maneuver for you. It's amazing. The quality of this camera, like I showed earlier in the presentation, it's just wow. The steering wheel is pretty big. The rim of the wheel is huge right here at this spot. So you can really tell it's made for having your hands here and your thumbs fit nicely right there. But the steering wheel it's big. I have large hands and wear extra large, but for someone with small hands, it must seem huge. Well, you can tell it feels high quality though. Also, it's a bit padded, so it's not firm. When you hold it in your hand, it's really pleasant. Same here, the little perforated leather on this one is great. And here. The fact that it's split into 2 spokes here, I love it. I mean that it's doubled each time here on the 3 spokes of the steering wheel. I think that's awesome. The turn signal, always quite sharp for Mercedes. It's a shame because the cars themselves are very impressive. This one, it's a bit more like a watch with a second hand there. For example, I stopped here, but it didn't recognize it well. And there you go. So here, for example, there's the traffic light over there, and it shows if it's green or not. And the quality is excellent. Honestly, it looks like a tablet. So turn signal here. We're going to go check out what it's like in the small streets. The car is wide, but you get used to it. It's not the S-Class, even though many call it the mini S-Class. As for the suspension, we're on some pretty rough roads, so you can feel that the car still stays fairly firm. Oh yeah, as soon as you get close to something, all the cameras turn on. That's nice too. So we also have the 48-volt mild hybrid system. Right now, it's not activated. When you accelerate again, it's so smooth. Same with the gears. I'm in 4th now. I can hear the engine shifting gears, but really, it's linear all the way through. Same thing when you downshift, you might feel it a little more. When it downshifts. So here, micro hybridization, 48 volts. Everything is off, no vibrations, nothing at all. And as soon as I start up again, it automatically restarts the engine, but basically without a starter, it gets the engine running again. So there are no vibrations, there's no noise, it's really instantaneous. And that's really cool. So let's see in a small roundabout. There we go. So the car is pretty easy to handle, even though it's quite long. There, over all these little bumps. So we don't have adaptive suspension on this car. It's the same when you speed up a bit. I'm well supported in my seat, which is great. When I turn hop, well, it still seems pretty responsive, even though right now I'm in efficiency mode. Same here, we have the dynamic modes. So, for example, I can switch to Sport Plus mode, and in Sport Plus mode, it changes the responsiveness of the steering wheel and the steering. Same thing, the steering is going to be a bit heavier, the engine more responsive, and the gearbox will also kick in a bit more. There we go. And for example, in Sport Plus mode, wow, okay, it's loud, you can really hear the engine. Same with the engine sound, it changes. It accelerates well, going from 0 to 100 in 7.5 seconds, which is pretty good, right? Does the engine stop in Sport Plus? Yes. Even in Sport Plus, start and stop is still active. There we go. In Sport Plus, you instantly notice it's much more responsive. It shifts gears smoothly around 3,000 revolutions per minute. Whereas if you switch to efficiency mode here, it will shift gears at 1,500 revolutions per minute, and you'll rarely go above 1,500 revolutions per minute. We have a 9-speed gearbox. Yeah, that's a lot of speeds. At 110 km/h, a gasoline car stays under 1,500 revolutions per minute, which is a big advantage. In terms of fuel consumption, well, it will allow you to use a little less than if you were in 6th gear. All right, so let's try to park using the automatic parking. So, parking assistance. I'm asking it to do that, so I'm moving on. For example, there are spots on the side and it notifies me when it detects one. Right now, it should be finding a spot. Okay, I press here, so it's okay, I press this button here. From now on, I won't touch anything. I'll show you. I'll put this here so you can see clearly. I'm really not touching anything. The car is handling itself, so I'm not touching either the brake or the gear shift. The car shifted into reverse, will shift into drive, and usually handles everything perfectly. I hope it recognizes the curb properly. Oops, I touched it a little bit. It handled everything itself and recognized the curb correctly. It's telling me that it's parked. It switched to parking mode. And there you go. I could see everything clearly on screen. It's not bad. Press here to exit parking. Okay, I'm pressing. And does the car know how to get out by itself too or not? Parking assistance. Activation of maneuvers. So the car can also get out by itself. Regarding the global positioning system, we have it here as well, and it's large with excellent readability. We can do the same thing here. So on the screen, when I touch home, I can switch to navigation mode. So now I have navigation on the big screen, here and here. And to be honest with you, the Mercedes screens...
Take the second exit and continue on Departmental Road 31.
Check this out, augmented reality. It shows me with the arrow following the car ahead, so you can't go wrong. Here I have the drawing of the roundabout showing me straight ahead, and here the arrows that follow. The quality is excellent. I see as well here as there. So it's the same. It works at night and otherwise.
At the roundabout, take the second exit and continue on Departmental Road 31.
There you go. And look, so for example, here, I go there. It shows me arrows here, you see? And here, the arrow tells me to turn there. It's just amazing. And then, when you're there, it's good. So the only thing I could criticize about this car is the voice of the lady who talks to me. They could have done a little better. We're going to merge onto the highway. We're going to pick up the pace a little. Like I said, shifting gears is really pleasant. And so, to get going again, we've got a few people here. Merging is easy. We have 200 horsepower, that's plenty. Alright, we're going to get up to 90 pretty quickly. So in terms of acceleration, it's quick, it's efficient. Here the car shifts gears smoothly for me. And we're at 90. So cruise control 90 and we're off. I'm a bit disappointed today since I only have cruise control, not all the driving assists. As you know, I love having all the driving assists. With adaptive cruise control, level 2 driving, and lane centering, here I only have the cruise control. Well, at 90, I'm in 8th gear, 1,400 revolutions per minute. It's pretty well soundproofed. I can hardly hear the engine, just a bit of rolling noise. Same here, I'm in total silence right now. As soon as you put on a bit of music, especially with the Burmester, it's excellent. The motorcycles are still quite audible, even though everything is well sealed. But it's still extraordinarily comfortable. The engine, on the other hand, when you push it a little, you can hear it. It's a bit noticeable inside the cabin. Often brands do that intentionally. From luxury German brands to demonstrate we still have it. A pretty nice engine up front under the hood. Same here, I stopped. Before reaching 0 or fully stopping, even just under 10 kilometers per hour, it cut off the engine to save gas. That's pretty good. Alright, for the sound system, we've got Burmester, and that's definitely a real plus. I'm often asked to talk about the audio equipment in the Mercedes car and Burmester. I'd give it a 9.5 out of 10. Some are better, but the best I've seen was in a Rolls-Royce, which is truly in a different league. But the Burmester is already exceptional. The sound quality is impressive, especially with digital audio broadcasting radio. Now we have all these digital radios. It's pure pleasure. All right, we're coming up on a stretch. We're going to go up to 110. I hope there won't be too much traffic. With 200 horsepower, acceleration is as expected. Pretty good. So, as I was saying, the engine is a bit noticeable in the cabin when you accelerate or when you're really in a shifting phase. I'll set the cruise control to 110. So at 110, it won't last long, the Paris region, and high speeds aren't necessarily ideal. So, well, at 90, like I said earlier, it's comfortable with slight engine noise. I think that's the little thing that's going to bother me about this version we have today. As soon as I accelerate a little bit, I would have liked it to be more discreet. When you're at 110, there's a bit of wind noise up here. It's still comfortable, not much road noise, a bit of engine noise, so you can hear it. Which is still pretty light, though. The car stays comfortable and firm in any mode. So, the suspension, look at what you see. The car handles it. No noticeable body roll, even now at a high speed, 110. Look, hop. The car itself stays pretty stable. I can trust it when I'm pushing it. So here we are at 110. We're off again, just a little body roll. There's some wind noise above. I'm in 9th gear at 1,400 revolutions per minute. Here, for example, I'm going to accelerate a bit harder. I'm going to get up to 130. At 130 kilometers per hour. There's a little more wind noise up top. The rolling noises are still very well contained. You can hear the engine a little bit. I'm in 9th gear at around 1,700 revolutions per minute, which is ideal for long trips with a gasoline engine. Here we go again. We're back in traffic. Well, we didn't get to enjoy it for long. I still think it's a good sedan for long drives. We're heading back out on small roads. Let's see how it goes. So there's something strange about this Mercedes. I noticed the same thing on the GLA. It's the pedal. It feels like a video game pedal. Or rather, a video game simulator pedal. You don't really get any real feedback from the pedal. So we're going very gently, but you don't actually get any real feeling from it. All right, let's give it a try. Here I have dynamic mode. For example, I'll switch to Sport Plus, so I can get a sharper steering feel and see how it handles in the corners. So now here we go. Big roundabout. It holds the road pretty well. We have good road grip. Yeah, it holds well. It opens up slightly. Depending on how we go into it, it can tend to oversteer a little. And that's not bad. And when changing direction, hop. It's pretty simple. You can trust this car pretty easily. So there you go. Like I said, it's this brake pedal. Actually, it's weird. You don't get the same feeling every time. When I press it again, it's rarely the same. It's very gentle, so it takes a little time to get used to it. I've still driven quite a few miles with the car, but it's true that at first, it's a little confusing. All right, Sport Plus. As usual, we like to test that with a 0 to 100 run. I'm starting from 0. Engine off, full throttle. Let's go. It really pulls, huh? 90, 80, 90, and 100. Braking, heavy braking. And it brakes pretty well. So, same thing. I found the pedal very strange. Same when the Regan kicks in. It doesn't do that in the pedal, like other cars. It just gently pushes the pedal back. And then it's smooth, even when you brake hard. Let's try again here, for example. You feel it a little bit, but it's the same. It just gently pushes the pedal back. I think it's very pleasant anyway as a car. Even during hard braking. The car says, don't worry, I'll handle it all. A fun little thing with this car, for example, is, hey Mercedes, what do you think about BMWs?
I have the same opinion as you, otherwise you wouldn't be here.
Very, very good answer. Hey Mercedes.
Yes, please?
Is this really a Mercedes?
I probably think the same thing as you.
All right, so now we're getting to my favorite part. The night test drive of a Mercedes. And just look at this, all this brightness. When I start, watch the wall in front of us closely. Did you see the lighting? We can see all the beams lighting up now. It's more like pixels than beams. There are 1.3 million tiny LEDs in each light, which makes it really impressive. And likewise, when you turn on the high beams, it really lights up, just like daylight. It's incredibly impressive. As you can see here, the interior, I set it to the red moon theme, which allows for color variations. As you can see, it just changed color. It went from red to blue, and it will keep changing like that throughout the cabin, with the air vents changing too. Same thing with something else. Look at the air vents. When I turn up the heat, they turn red to show me that I've increased the temperature. That's really nice. So it confirms for you whether you're making it warmer or cooler. Same thing, even if at some point they're red, when I make it cooler, they'll turn blue. So there are the seat belts. And we're going to do a little night test. I'll try to find some small roads around here to show you how it works. So, for example, look here, it turned red, and now I'm going to lower the temperature and it turns blue like this. Just to show you, there you go, I lowered it. And then it goes back to doing its animation. The steering wheel buttons and all lighting are white. In the back, we also have a bit of lighting in the doors. And up there too, we can see this part here, all around this area where the lights also change color, just like the cabin. So we really have something really, really nice. It's the same for night maneuvers. The cameras have great quality and visibility. Here, with some lighting, we're still in the city. So I have the cameras like this. So as we saw, we really have a lot of camera options. In the front, in the back, in 360 wide angle, ultra wide angle, like this. It's still impressive. Otherwise, I have voice control. Set the interior lighting to red.
Okay, I'm changing the color.
Wow, and now everything turned red. It gives a really, really aggressive look. All we'd need now is the engine from the C63 Aufrecht, Melcher, and Gross Aspaken here. Look, there's this whole red vibe, red gauges, red everywhere. In the front and in the back. On a straight road like this, all you want to do is... come on, floor it. But we're not going to get too excited. So here we are on a national road at night. So with the automatic headlights. So as you can see, it's working normally here. Here I only have the headlights on, not the high beams. And having these new LEDs, they're really white. They light up really well. And so depending on how I activate this, I can turn on the auto mode or not. So here, for example, it switched to automatic high beam. As you can see, it outlines well. The square is visible, so I hope it's clear. But it outlines the car well. Look, it's getting closer to it little by little to outline it. I'm on high beam for everything else. Look here, it's going to outline the truck for me. There, it goes over the truck, outlining it with a square image. And everything else, well, is fully lit, like on the right. And look at the... it's impressive. Okay, here, it's really the car with its headlights. Which one works the best? Of all the ones I've done so far. Yeah, so it's about watching everything happening on the left side. So I hope you can see clearly. As soon as other cars arrive, boom, it deactivates. So here it lights up the right side in front of me. It's quite impressive. All right, I'm going to give you a little nighttime presentation of this Mercedes C-Class. So, the new one. So, of course, we have the lights here that turn on. These digital light headlights. As you can see here, it's very, very nice. It's full of details. It's really beautiful. The little Mercedes logo that lights up inside. And at the back, we have these lights here. It's really nice. So, I don't know if there's an animation on it or not. So, this is the locking mechanism with an animation playing. And as you could see, it gets brighter and brighter. We have the Mercedes logo displayed here on the ground. That's nice. And so at the front, the keys in the pocket. And the interior, which is going to become a very interesting place in this car. So, illuminated door sill. The doors light up in white here, plus the little red area. And so here, everything lights up in white. I get into my vehicle, I start it. I love what it does with the lights when they turn on. And now, I have all my ambient lighting. I'm making a video about the Mercedes night lighting and digital light headlights, Hope you'll enjoy it. So, what can we think about this beautiful Class C? It's a Mercedes, so it always keeps that very premium feel in the car. So every time it evolves, it really moves up a notch. When you look at the older Class C models, they really looked like regular cars, you know? Now, when I see the first Class C models, I feel like I'm looking at a Clio. And when I see all this technology, well, this is real luxury. Even the car's lines make you say, wow, it's beautiful and really resembles a small Class S, just like people say. The space, size, and proportions all seem perfect. These 19-inch rims nicely fill the wheel arches. So, indeed, it made the car a little bit firmer than if we had 17-inch rims, for example, with tires or with sidewalls that would have been a bit wider. It would have made the car a bit more comfortable. On the other hand, it added some dynamism, especially in corners. So, the car's a mix between comfort and dynamism. I used to think of Mercedes as being a bit more comfortable. It could have been with slightly smaller rims. But on the other hand, I have to admit that I would always choose this side for the style, which is definitely nicer. As for fuel consumption, I was hoping for a little less with the 9-speed gearbox. Well, I did a lot of city driving and got stuck in traffic. 8.6 liters is still reasonable. Otherwise, it's an engine that responds pretty well. The car has all the driving modes, from Eco to Sport Plus. So, you really get the response you want. As for the interior, the technology, and so on, nothing to complain about. I love the screens, the finish, the lights, all of that. Absolutely, yes. Nothing beats the 360-degree cameras. It's a shame I only had cruise control and the speed limiter. Not all the driving aids. Having more features would have been a real plus. I highly suggest getting Level 2 driving with all assistance features. There are several packages to choose from. The price starts at 49,000 euros. Adding the big 10,000 euro options pack includes all driving aids and comfort features. It really gives you an advantage. Of course, it's 10,000 euros, which is not nothing, but it's definitely worth it in any case. The models shown today cost about 63,000 euros and lacked some minor options. We had the sunroof, for example, which is a little over 2,000 euros. The head-up display you can also add for 1,200 euros. Choosing the right options gets you a car for about 65,000, which I think is worth it. I'd rather spend 65,000 here than on anything else the competition offers for the same amount. It will also be available as a station wagon, so the C-Brake and this sedan version. Let me know your thoughts on the video. Would you pick this sedan or station wagon? This was Nicholas. See you soon for another video. Bye.